One of the biggest causes of concerns for a lot of players is consistency with their golf game. It's definitely one of the biggest frustrations that I hear from player to player as they come through and we begin the process of working on their game. However, when we look at the players that are frustrated with their consistency, a lot of the time some of the areas that they can improve are not necessarily technical within the swing. A lot of it can simply stem from the setup. And what we know about professionals is they do the small things consistently very well each and every time they approach and then go ahead and execute a golf shot. And then this includes their distance from the golf ball. So if you've been wondering how far away you should be standing when it comes to the golf ball, this video is really going to help. So starting off with a general template for how far away to stand from the golf ball. If I was to approach this golf ball down on the ground, and I was to, without setting the club, simply just walk in with my feet and try and put the club down behind the ball, I'm going to tend to sometimes put it in an inconsistent fashion. I'm not really going to know exactly how far the ball is away from my body and also the angle in which my body is tilted relative to the ground. And these are important variables that we need to look at when setting up to a golf ball. Once again, we want to make our setup as consistent as possible so we're able to get some of that consistency when it actually comes to striking the golf ball. So why would having the incorrect distance from the golf ball have a negative influence on our ball striking? Well, if I was setting up to the golf ball and I was standing too close, effectively my arms don't have enough room to hang. And throughout the golf swing, I'm going to start to try and make some compensations to get this club back onto the golf ball so I can get a reasonable strike. Now, a lot of these micro moves, they're subconscious, we're not thinking about them. However, when I'm positioning myself in such a way that I can't effectively swing the momentum of this golf club in the way that it is designed, it's going to create that inconsistency when it comes to ball striking. The same goes for distance from the ball if I'm standing too far. So if I'm reaching for the golf ball here, all things being equal, I'm going to have to make some compensations to get that golf club back on the ball. Now, you might not know that you're the incorrect distance away from the ball, and in fact, you might be in a pretty funky position, but it might feel comfortable or normal to what you're used to. And that's simply just because it's a habit and you're very used to seeing the ball and feeling a certain way when you address the shot. However, that doesn't mean that it is correct. What we need to do is we need to run through sort of a system and a bit of an understanding of how to stand where you should stand and the distance you should be away from the golf ball to really improve the consistency of how you set up. So, great little drill to follow. What I want you to do, stand up dead straight. You're going to have your body feeling like it's nice and tall. From there, you're going to get the golf club parallel to the ground. You're going to get this golf club about a hand and thumb distance away. From here, you're going to place two hands down on the club. Now, to get down to the ball, I'm not going to flex my knees. I'm not going to drop the club. I'm effectively just going to hinge from the hips until the club touches the ground and then slightly flex the knees. Now, distance from the golf ball is a checkpoint. From here, there's two things we can do. Number one, it's to close your eyes and get a feeling for your weight distribution. We want to feel like we're planted in the ground, like a lot of our weight is extended across sort of the midsection of our shoelaces, kind of towards the balls of the feet as such. A similar feeling as if you're a soccer goalkeeper sort of waiting for a ball to come towards you, or other reactive sports where you need to stay athletic and be able to move dynamically on the spot when required. So golf is no different. We're going to stand up dead straight, club parallel with the ground, tilt from the hips until the club touches the ground, and then slightly flex the knees. I'm going to close my eyes and then I'm going to get a feeling for my weight distribution. I feel like I've got a nice amount of bounce in my knees and my weight is distributed across the middle of my laces. From here, the next checkpoint we're going to look at is where the golf club is positioned relative to my arm hang. If I was to let my right hand hang off the golf club, you can see that I can bring that hand directly back onto the golf club. If I was reaching for the golf ball, for example, the golf club is out here, and I let my hand, my trail hand, hang from the golf club here, you can see that effectively it's not going to move straight back onto the grip. I'd have to make an adjustment. Now that would be a good reference that indeed you're reaching for the golf ball. The same would be true, once again, if I go through this posture routine, tilt from the hips, and then I was standing too close to the ball. If I let my trail hand hang off, you can see it wouldn't fit perfectly back onto that grip. So where this trail hand hangs off, that's going to give you a great reference for an approximate of where the golf club needs to be positioned relative to your body. So going through my posture routine, I tilt from the hips, I close my eyes, I feel like I've got some bounce in my knees, I let my right hand hang off the club, and if I can bring it directly back onto that grip, well, I know I have the correct amount of arm hang, and the club is positioned where I'm going to be able to get the most effective and consistent strike from a setup position. So from there, what we need to do is we need to shuffle until the ball is in place. So let's say that I'm addressing the ball, I've gone through my routine, club is parallel to the ground, I tilt from the hips, slightly flex the knees, I'm happy with my weight distribution, I'm happy with the handle location, with the balls over there. Now what I don't want to do is reach for the ball. What I want to do from here is I actually just want to shuffle back in, and then we just do a little check once again, close the eyes, feel the weight distribution, feel the right hand hanging off, back onto the grip. Now I'm ready to go. And that would give you a great structure and a great system of finding how far away from the ball you need to be for that specific golf club. Now, as the golf club gets longer, let's say that you're using a 3-wood or a driver or something like that, and you were to run through exactly the same process, because the length of the golf club is longer, effectively as you tilt down from the ground, you wouldn't be tilting down as much, and therefore as you let your arms hang, it's going to put you in a different position. So the length of the club will dictate the distance you are away from the golf ball, so you don't need to think about that. Effectively, if you just run through this system, club parallel to the ground, hand and thumb distance away, tilt from the hips, slightly flex the knees, let the right hand hang off and feel your weight across the balls of your feet. Wherever that golf club is, we then need to shuffle to the golf ball, and then we're in a good spot, ready to execute a shot. So if we can do these small things consistently, it may just help your ball striking improve dramatically to the point where you're not so frustrated when you walk off the golf course. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Please like and subscribe. Comment below if you found this one helpful. I'd love to hear your feedback and help you with anything that you are specifically concerned about in your golf games going forward this year. But until next time, I'm Kerry Gray. Thanks for watching.